Today we are going to discuss about the antagonists of the Touhou. Now I am not going to I will not start this video with a long brief story, but just randomly tell each and every antagonist. But there will be one rule in here, that I am not gonna say each and every antagonist of all Touhou, but only those famous antagonists which have been known by every other Touhou fan. Famous antagonists, about famous antagonists only I will be going to say about. Okay, so I think if your favorite antagonist name or description, if it is not there, I am very sorry, but I have to make it very much short. Okay, so I guess I will do it better. So before starting the video, I would like to say you that please follow me on my Instagram, link in the description. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates in the channel. So without wasting Touhou Wiki, and I will tell each and every antagonist description in the chronological order, means from I can say an ascending order, like from 1, 2, 3. In those famous games, these are the famous characters. So in the starting, I am starting with from the Windows era embodiment of Scarlet Devil, and from embodiment of Scarlet Devil, our first famous, I can say, is Sakuya Izayoi, or Izayoi Sakuya. So she is the chief maid who serves Remilia Scarlet, the head of the Scarlet Mansion. She is the only human living in the Scarlet Devil Mansion. If you don't know about Scarlet Devil Mansion, it is as the name suggests, it's Devil's Mansion, Scarlet Devil Mansion, and she is the only human living in that area. Not only Remo and Maisa, but she is also a human. Okay, so here you can get a picture of Sakuya. It is from the Uncorrected Marketeers. And I'm gonna straight go with Sakuya first appeared in a stage 5 boss in embodiment of Scarlet Devil. She appeared in Perfect Cherry Blossom as a playable character and in Imperishable Night as Remilia's partner, along with being in the new fighting game Immaterial and Missing Power. Later, she appeared again as a playable character in Phasmophobia of Flower View, Scarlet Weather Rhapsody, and Touhou Hisotetsuku. She was a playable character once again in Double Dating character. She essentially takes the position of managing the Scarlet Devil Mansion. Her height is tall. She is taller than Reino Hakurei and Alice Margaret Wright, but about the same height as Yukari Yakumo and Hong Mine. She was not born in Gensokyo, and the name Sakuya Izayoi was given to her by Remilia Scarlet. In Perfect Memento, in strict sense, Akyu guessed that she might have originally been a vampire hunter. It is myth. Nobody till now knows about that Sakuya is really a human or not. But fans say, Touhou fandom says that she was about 10 years age when she was hired by Remilia, and after that, Sakuya became her most closest maid and royal maid in the whole mansion. Okay. As for her age, Zun directly stated that she plays the role of a human maid about 10 to 20 years old, and perhaps she is a character in her early teens. In Perfect Memento existence, according to Heida no Akyu, she claims to be in her late teens. Outacts as a mannerism of someone, and the level of her ability seems like that of a human that has been living for more than 100 years. According to a quote from Remilia Scarlet and Sakuya ending in Imperishable Night of Good Ending #3, Sakuya has been working at the Scarlet Devil Mansion for so long, Remilia doesn't feel fitting to call her human. With a comment like that, it seems safe enough to assume she has been at the Scarlet Devil Mansion for an extremely long time. So you can tell that Sakuya has a good relationship with Remilia. So I have not to explain about that Sakuya has with whom Sakuya has shipping. Okay, so first shipping is Remilia, and another one is Reimu, which is somewhat there, also somewhat not there. So ability, I will not tell total, or else it will be long. Ability, I can say her main ability is to manipulate time. She can stop time whenever she wants, and she has the power to throw knives. She is an extreme good knifist, I can say. She can throw very perfectly the knives, which will only listen to her orders. Okay, so this was, I think, somewhat a description about Sakuya. Now let's go to
Next
our
antagonist
is Remilia Scarlet, or Remilia Scarlet, is the main antagonist of embodiment of Scarlet Devil, means main boss. She is a vampire and the owner of the head of the Scarlet Devil mansion, the mistress of Sakuya Izayoi, homemaking, and the fairy maids. She is also the older sister and guardian of Candida Scarlet, whom about which I will not going to describe about, because Candida Scarlet is not that much of important in this series. So you can see Remilia Scarlet from, I think this is from Scarlet, yeah, from the Scarlet Devil Rhapsody. So let's go to the general information of Remilia Scarlet. Remilia Scarlet is Remilia first appeared as the final boss in embodiment of Scarlet Devil. She later became a playable character in Mean Martial and Missing Power Imperishable Night along with Sakuya as a duo and Scarlet Feather Rhapsody. She was also a stage 7 target in Shoot the Bullet and a final day boss in Impossible Spellcard, along with being in the background of Hopeless Masquerade. Due to being a vampire, she usually appears at night, indoors or under a parasol when the sun is out. She is seldom seen without a parasol on sunny day outdoors. That doesn't clearly satisfy that she is a vampire. Vampire doesn't come out in sunny day outdoors. She needs to have a parasol. So you can see fierce from Remilia that's hiding like this. It's from, I think, from the she's clearing up some protagonists. While she tries to cultivate the image of a mysterious and frightening vampire, as Remilia is as childish as her appearance suggests. However, she is surprisingly polite. Her long lifetime has been only served to make her prone to boredom, and as a result she prizes anything she finds noble. In Peninsula in Blue, she allows herself to be manipulated by Yukari Yakumo simply because the alternative would be being boring. The other residents in the Scarlet Devil mansion spend much of their time catering to Remilia's odd whims, including numerous parties, though she does make an effort to appreciate and respect their patience. Her abilities, again, I am not going to say about each and everything in whole description, okay, but I can only say that Remilia has she can manipulate darkness or manipulate death. She had been the Scarlet Mist. She had been spreading the Scarlet Mist in the embodiment of Scarlet Devil, so she can spread the mist, and she can manipulate human death, especially death. She can manipulate death. She will see someone, and by looking with her eyes, she can kill that person. You can say a telepathy, I think, yes. So this was about Remilia Scarlet. Now let's move on to our next antagonist. Okay, antagonist. Yukari Yakumo, or Yakumo Yukari. She is the, I can say, great edgelord of Gensokyo. Edgelord only. I cannot say lord, but edgelord of Gensokyo. So I have said about Yukari in many videos, from the What is the Touhou project, from that video till now I have told about Yukari. Now you can get a good picturization about her. So she is the legendary yokai who is able to manipulate boundaries. She is the master of Remilia Yakumo, who is another her Shikigami. She is also called the Gap Yokai. Gap Yokai, her another nickname is Old Hag. Why her nickname is Old Hag, you will get to know. Although Gap Yokai is not the name of a species, as she is more of a one-of-a-kind type of yokai. Regardless of her power, Yukari appears to be most well-informed being in Gensokyo of any kind, and usually achieves her goal through manipulating events rather than directly combat. So she is kind of, again, mischievous, but she is legendary and she has no species. Like at the first, Sakuya was a human, Remilia was a vampire, but she is what she is? Nothing. Maybe she's God, maybe not. So again, I will let's go to the general information about Yukari. General information of Yukari Yakumo is Yukari first appeared in the Phantasm stage boss of Perfect Cherry Blossom with Ran Yakumo serving her as Shikigami, or you can say kind of butler. Despite being a high-class boss compared to another extra and final stage bosses, she made occasional appearances in later games. She was a playable character in Imperishable Night, partnered with Reimu Hakuri and supported by her in Subterranean Animism, and was playable in fighting games but was only a cameo in background of Hopeless Masquerade. Also, she was an extra spell target in Shoot the Bullet and appeared in final day of Impossible Spell Cast. So here is the star cast. Sure, I think she appeared as much as Reimu has been appeared in the whole games. She is one of the oldest yokai in Gensokyo, one of the strongest of yokai, and she is praised as one of the wisest of yokai. She was one who proposed the Great Hakurei barrier, which covers Gensokyo and is therefore tied to Gensokyo's creation. So Hakurei Gensokyo barrier is kind of a border which separates from Gensokyo to the other outside world, but she can manipulate that. She is only known yokai who is able to pass this barrier in order to access the outside world. Although there are few instances like Mamis of Mikasuiwa who's passed it. You will get to know more about her. She also performs surveillance and safety administration mainly from Ran Yakumo. She is simply one of the most mysterious yokai living in Gensokyo. Most mysterious and most prestigious, both. So let's go to the personality. Yukari is known for being a very yokai-like yokai. Yokai-like yokai, what is that? Who sleeps all day and lives for the enjoyment of life. So she is lazy, just like I said. Though she rarely leaves her house, she is well connected and is acquainted with most of the powerful yokai as well as anyone have anything to do with the Great Hakurei barrier or the outside world. Although she rarely attacks humans, she had tendency to toy with her opponents rather than her full power from the start. If anyone is suited for the role of mastermind, it's Yukari. She excels at mathematics and is experienced due to her long life. So she is kind of the main villain of Gensokyo. If whole Touhou series can be, if you take the whole Touhou storyline, which is I think a month or year long story, from the starting only the highly responsive players, you can say that Yukari was the first person, or if you played highly responsive to players, the second level of Hell Root, not of Makai Root, but I think of Hell Root or Makai Root, I don't know. I think it was there in the Hell Root only. There will be one boss with eyes only. From eyes, they will the yokai will put laser beams from her eyes. So some say that is only Yukari Yakumo can debut from highly responsive to players, but it's just a mystery. Strength, her ability is to manipulate the borders. She can open portals anywhere. As her nickname is Gap Yokai, she can create a hole, or you can say a Yukari's portal, and she can go and went anywhere. Okay, and also she can manipulate trains, which is I think a new, I guess. Okay, and her age, relating to her age is about 1200 years old, making her the most oldest yokai of whole Gensokyo. Okay? So this was, I think, the brief description about Yukari. Now let's go to our another antagonist. So now I'm going to tell about our next antagonist, whose name is Aya Shameimaru, or Shameimaru Aya. Anything you can tell. So before starting her brief analysis, I'm sorry that I have not told about the characters of Imperishable Knights. There are also many good characters in Imperishable, like Kaguya, and then Moku, then Tevi, then Reisen, but I cannot tell in one way. Okay, that's why I have to say only these are my favorites, or I can say these are the most common antagonists of Gensokyo, all in fandom. So you have to know about of only those characters only I have explained. So sorry that I have not told your characters in here only, but in later video I guess that I can explain them. Okay. So side note, let's know about Aya Shameimaru. Is the main protagonist of the Shoot the Bullet. She is the main protagonist in Shoot the Bullet and double spoiler, but she is antagonist of from starting of the Phasmophobia of Flower View, but she was there in kind of little bit only, and then Mountain of Fate. She is Gensokyo's resident reporter, known for writing slightly exaggerated news articles about anything that happens in Gensokyo. She is very strong and is probably stronger than she shows, since she sometimes accidentally wins battles while only meaning to cover a news story. She is the worst news reporter of the whole Gensokyo. She writes each and everything, means she will write only silly things she will write in her newspaper. Her newspaper is Gungunmaru News, and she is the editor of Gungunmaru News. So here Aya Shameimaru, this is Aya Shameimaru's flight from Hidden Star in 4 seasons. Hidden Star in 4 seasons. So she's a crow Tengu. Even if you don't know about Tengu, you can just Google it and know about more about Tengu. Tengu is kind of a yokai, okay? Just I can say that only. Now, general information about Aya. First appeared in Bohemian Archive in Japanese Red official book as the reporter of the articles, and made her first game debut in Phasmophobia of Flower View. She is the main protagonist of the spin-off games Shoot the Bullet and Double Spoiler, where she fights against various characters while taking pictures of them. She appears again in the mainline game as the stage 4 boss of Mountain of Fate and as a playable partner with Reimu Hakuri in Subterranean Animism. She is also playable character in Scarlet Wizard Rhapsody, made an appearance in the background as character in Hopeless Masquerade, and appeared in Day 6 boss in Impossible Spell Card. Hidden Star in 4 season reintroduces her as a playable character. Like in Bohemian Archive in Japanese Red, Aya appears as the main character in Alternative Facts in Eastern Utopia, and once again fills the role of reporter from the articles of the book. So she had been there in many games and many books, man. Just Personality, Aya is unrelating when it comes to getting sensationalist news stories, and she frequently twists the truth in her writing to her own advantage. Although her stated policy to report only the truth, she has been often written blatant lies. It's said that she will come politely asking interviews for humans and yokais both alike if she thinks them as worth writing an article about, but will forcefully drive away any who interfere. Wow, very rude. About the ability, you can say that she is the fastest Tengu of whole Gensokyo. She is a reporter and she can manipulate speed, I guess. She can manipulate wind, yes. She can manipulate wind. Especially she can manipulate wind, and nothing there about that. She's just a kind of she does more edgy jokes. That's only her ability, I can say. She does rubbish edgy jokes. She's another shrine maiden, and she is the shrine maiden of the Moria shrine, which is there in Mountain of Fate. And another thing, she being an antagonist, she is a human. So that's very much makes her more prestigious in the whole Touhou series, Mountain of Fate. So Sanae Kochiya is a human, but also a distant descendant of the goddess Suwaku Moria, who is a goddess, I can say. Her role in the Moria shrine is similar to a shrine maiden, but with her inherited power, Sanae has also become a minor deity herself. Originally from the outside world, Sanae migrated to Gensokyo with the shrine and its 2 resident goddesses, Kanako Yasaka and Suwaku Moria. As a result, she is rather knowledgeable about the outside world and modern living, although her attempts to explain scientific concepts usually just confuse the locals. Her knowledge on things like the yokai of Gensokyo, on the other hand, seems a bit lacking from her shrine. So you can see the sprite of Sanae Kochiya from Unconnected Multiverse. Listen to this. So Personality, if I say about personality, general information, I do not going to say her general information because it's same. She was in science during Blue Bohemian Rhapsody, like that only. And her first debut game was Mountain of Fate. Then she came in, I think I should see the personality. Yeah. She was there in Subterranean Animism and later became a playable character in Undefined Fantastic Object, then Hisou Tensoku, 10 Desires, Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom, and she was the second character in comic Wild Horn Honey. And her, if I tell her ability, she can ability to cause miracles. She can cause miracles. She is cause miracles, and she can ability as a shrine builder. These are the both things you know about Sanae Kochiya Sanae, the shrine maiden, antagonist shrine maiden of the whole Touhou series. That makes her special. Also, you can see that Reimu is in red color and Sanae is in green color, like Mario and Luigi. So let's get back to our next antagonist description. And this antagonist is very much, I can say, complicated in her own life. So her name is very long. You can see Toyosatomimi no Miko, but simply you can say Toyosatomimi. Okay. So she is the main antagonist of the 10 Desires. Now, first of all, I can only say that 10 Desires and Toyosatomimi no Miko both. Toyosatomimi no Miko is the main boss of 10 Desires. That's why this whole game is underrated game. Most underrated game of whole Touhou series. The most underrated game is 10 Desires. He is the main antagonist of 10 Desires. He is a saint who spread Buddhism across the country as a ruler, while Seijakaku taught her Taoism. She spread Buddhism, but Seijakaku taught him Taoism. Wow. As a follower of Taoism, training to attain immortality, she now lives her life in a simple, carefree manner as a hermit. So she is a hermit, and her species, Aya was a crow, Tengu, and Toyosatomimi no Miko is a owl. That's why you will see those ears here, and she also has hair. These ears are because she can hear 10 people talking in one time. That's why she is special. And another thing for one is special is this is the only character which has a perfect birthday with date, with month, with year. Yes, there is only one character only. Her birthday is 4th January is 475 AD something, I don't know. But it is 4th January only. That's why every time her birthday is named by the Touhou fans who like Toyosatomimi no Miko, but very less people know about her, I guess. Very less Touhou fans. Now let's see. Miko is a character that has become surprisingly casual and frequently jokes around, so she is a plucky, immortal, fully immortal hermit. She still tends to get involved in secular affairs because of her origins as a ruler. During combat, however, she displays no signs of weakness and seems to completely see through her opponents. As a hermit, she isn't concerned about teaching her techniques to the many that want to become her disciples, and simply uses them as servants and couriers. She is cooperative and friendly towards humans in general, though due to her ability, however, she may not listen to people's conversation. Yes, she can listen to 10 people's discussion in one time, but she may sometimes not listen to people's conversation. And regarding to her debut, so her debut was there in 10 Desires, and then playable character in Hopeless Masquerade, then in Impossible Spell Card, then in playable character in Urban Legend. To know more about our next antagonist is just as special as Yukari Yakumo. So, like Yukari Yakumo, you can get Yoyoko Sayoji, who is the main boss of Perfect Cherry Blossom, but I have not explained about her because she is a ghost, and she is something a normal ghost, I can say. So she is also special, but I am not explaining because of this character, because she is also kind of like, I can say, competitiveness between Yukari and this character. So her name is Okina Matara, or Matara Okina. She is the main antagonist of Hidden Star in 4th season. She is a secret god and one of the sages of Gensokyo. So you can get to know that she is also a secret god. Secret god is also Yukari Yakumo also. So here only you can get the competitiveness. Also there is a competitiveness in their ability that Yukari can manipulate portals. She is kind of Doraemon who has anywhere doors which is used to go anywhere. Okay, she is the manipulator. First appeared as both in the final boss and extra stage boss in Hidden Star in 4th season. Now you will be get a surprise that how she can be only the final boss and she can only be an extra stage boss. So the main boss was not an Okina Matara, but was Okina Matara, but fake Okina Matara. There are two Okina Mataras, one is fake, one is true. Fake one will be there as the final boss and the real one will be there in the extra stage boss. Sounds strange, right? A hidden god of multiple faces and roles, she has remained out of sight for some time until the events of Hidden Star in 4th season. As one of the sages, she has been helped to create the Gensokyo of today. Currently, she maintains its balance and protects it from the outside world. So her world is also just like Yukari's world. She is also having a world like Yukari. So I am very unhappy to say that I have not covered each and every Touhou antagonist, because I have said randomly which are my favorite also and which are also famous in Gensokyo only. But there are more important characters, like you can get Rumiya, Chirino, then Kaguya Horizon, Fujiwara Moku, Tevi Nama, Reisen Kagumi Nama, then I have not covered about the new character, Suika Ibuki is there, then also the characters from Unconnected Marketers, from Very Distant Creatures, from June also, Shion also, from Anti-Money Common Flowers. So that this is going to be my last speech or you could say brief description video. I guess this is my last description video. In future, maybe if my mood will be there, then I can just tell about this live out character in my future I do in part 2 video. Okay? Please subscribe my channel, press the bell icon for the latest updates in the channel, and please you can follow my Instagram whose link is in the description. You can message me if you thought that somewhere I have said some character description wrong, then you can just message me. I am available every time you can message me. You can also ask me if you have any doubts related to any of characters. Okay, and next video's topic will be just a surprise for you guys. Okay, so this is a surprise. I will give you, if you follow my Instagram, you can get to know it later if you follow my Instagram. Okay, so I hope you like this video. Please subscribe, press the bell icon for latest updates in this channel. Stay safe, stay healthy. See you in my next